Glad you're here. Important message. Most cities ban fireworks. Even some counties do as well. Well, there's a good reason for it. Just one of those reasons. Fireworks, we know, can cause serious injury. I spoke with Baylor Scott White emergency medicine physician Adita Mitra to learn about celebrating the 4th of July safely. So here to discuss now and joining us with fireworks safety is Baylor Scott White emergency medicine physician Adita Mitra. And doctor, first of all, thank you for being here.
Of course.
We're going to begin with the obvious. We don't want this to be a very busy time of year for you, but sadly it can be a dangerous time. The obvious question, why is fireworks safety so important?
Fireworks safety is super important because there's a lot of potential for a lot of damage to a lot of people. You know, generally speaking, we're enjoying fireworks together as a group. So not only does it have the potential to injure one person, but several people. And these are, times of the year when we're dealing with a lot of outdoor heat and sun. And so it's not just fireworks, it stems into the environment as well.
Okay, that's a good point because the first question, of course, is what kind of injuries do you see? So I would think, really fire, heat, explosions. Those are what fireworks do. Tell us what's your busy thing around that time of the year, the holiday here?
So lots of busy things actually. Yeah. So we commonly see burns. We see a lot of injuries to the face, eyes, hands, and of course these are vital parts of our body. Nobody wants to lose their ability to see or use their hands, so a lot of significant impact.
How can people avoid injury? Do you have any tips for us?
Yeah, so tip number one is actually the National Safety Council recommends do not do fireworks on your own. They recommend that, if you really want to enjoy them, go to a professional show. But we all know that there's some of us that are still going to go ahead and do it. So for those of us that do choose to do that, number one, make sure you do it in a space where you're not close to buildings, not close to homes, because there's that potential for fire. And then along those lines, keeping a bucket of water so that in the event there were to be a fire, you've got plan B. You can go ahead and put it out. Yeah. Children should not be handling fireworks. In fact, sparklers, which are very commonly used, are notorious for causing a lot of burns in children.
Really? Because those are the fireworks that they say, okay, young kids can't. Yeah. This is the one we'll let them do, but you say no.
That's right. In fact, I actually grew up on sparklers, but I've learned that a lot of children, they accidentally drop the sparklers on their feet, and so they end up suffering burns over there.
Because it's a hot day, we're not wearing closed-toed shoes, and the next thing you know, they burn their toesies.
That's right. Yep, toesies, that's a technical term.
I think it is. I know you went to years of medical school. I didn't. Does it show? I know. But anyway, 4th of July, my dad used to call that a New Year's Eve amateur hour. So you make a good point. You say leave it to the professionals when it comes to the demonstration. So if you're going to make it family-oriented, go somewhere or get to a place where you can see a true fireworks show. That's right. Now, sadly, we know that it's going to happen. There will be injuries. When do you make that decision at home when it's time to go see a doctor, or maybe you just put a little bit of ice on that slight redness?
Great question. So again, because burns are very common, burns also have the potential to turn into infections. You're really compromising that superficial layer that's a protective layer of your skin. So you are more susceptible to developing skin infections. And it's also important to consider whether or not you're up to date on your tetanus vaccination. So, again, any sort of burn, it's best to get it checked out. Worst case scenario, you show up to the ER and we tell you, hey, things are fine. And if that's the worst news that you hear, that's not so bad. And then any potential injury to the eyes. We do a very thorough eye examination. And your cornea, of course, is a very sensitive part of your body. So generally, you'll experience some level of pain or eye sensitivity, photosensitivity, but those would be indications to come into the ER.
And we want everybody to stay safe and have a wonderful 4th of July. Okay, we're going to be right back with a final check of your forecast.